Okay, for some reason I was listening to a lot of different people there in the background, so I couldn't actually hear. Could you repeat yourself, please? Okay, I did hear Kabari.
Yes, it is for me.
Okay. All right. We're trying to get it out to the world as much as we possibly can. It's just the different types of radio shows, the different types of we're advertising it, we're pushing it out. But the big media organizations are it's very hard to get information out these days.
Good efforts.
What's that?
That is good efforts on your part. We'll learn from you. How do we go ahead with the propagation of the urine therapy? Thank you very much.
Thank you. You just teach, I mean, try to get it out there as much as possible through social media and through doing videos and talking to as many people as you can. And what I've been doing is talking to a lot of the doctors that have 100 million followers, you know, people that are very influential in the world. There's a guy named Mike Adams. I mean, Mike Adams, who runs the Brighteon, he's got 250 million people that watch his information all over the world. And I've been talking to him for 8 months. He finally had me on his show a month ago to talk about it. And he just texted me the other day saying for the first time he's tried it and he felt better than ever. So it's baby steps. It's just getting it out there. And so now he's going to be presenting it to his audience, which is huge. It's, you know, you talk about 250 million people all over the world. It's, you know, it's just, that's the kind of stuff that I've been working on to just introduce it to people. And as people continually get better, they're spreading the news and they're talking about it to their friends and family. And, you know, hopefully it'll reach a critical point like the 100th monkey phenomenon. And, you know, the next thing you know, the whole world will be talking about it.
Oh, very good. That's our dream. That's our dream.
Good evening, doctor. Could you please hear me?
Yes.
I am Ajarin Jaladhan from Kerala, South India. Your 30-minute presentation regarding UT therapy is very interesting and informative. A stylish presentation and commendable. I take this opportunity to wish you my happy birthday in advance, which falls next month. Wish you healthy and a long life. You can contribute more in the coming decades for the betterment of the UT and spreading. My first doubt is that there's a saying that Shivambu is an excellent universal remedy. Could you please explain why say so?
Why is Shivambu a universal remedy?
Yes, sir.
Because what do you need a remedy for? That's the question that you ask, that I ask people. You know, it's very strange for me to understand why people don't understand why they're sick. I've asked thousands of people over the years that have come to me, whether they're suffering from fibromyalgia, diabetes, cancer, it doesn't matter. Skin conditions, anything. And I always ask them, why do you have cancer? Why do you have psoriasis? Why do you have diabetes? And nobody can answer that question. And what we really need to think about when you talk about why Shivambu is a universal remedy is because it works on everything. But the real issue is that people don't understand why they have the conditions that they have. And that's why I think the number one thing that I've been focusing on, and we actually are starting a school right now, is education. We have to start educating our children. We have to start educating this next generation. We have to start educating medical students. We have to start educating everybody as to the root cause of why they're suffering from the conditions that they're suffering from. And that's really what what I want to focus on, and what I've been talking to other physicians about focusing on too, is you can say Shivambu is a universal remedy because it's the perfect remedy that your body creates to address whatever symptom or whatever disease that you may have. However, you don't want to necessarily address the symptoms. You want to address the root cause. And that's the issue. So we should be teaching people. I mean, yes, it's great to prescribe Shivambu, and that's great, and it will work for a broad spectrum of symptoms. But the real knowledge and the real education and the real transformation comes from explaining to that patient why they have what they have, and how to address the root cause. And if you address the root cause, and that means, look, we used to go into people's homes and say, look, you have mold on your ceiling. You know, you're breathing this stuff in every day. What water are you drinking? What pots and pans are you using to cook your food with? What oils are you using to cook your foods with? You know, let's start looking at what people are putting in their body, and who are you hanging around with? You know, how much time are you spending on yourself? How balanced is your life between your work, between your family, between yourself, between God, you know, all of those other things. If you work on that, yes, we tell everybody to start with Shivambu, but that's just the start. The real goal is to teach that individual why they're suffering from what they're suffering from, identify all of the toxic things that they're involved with in their external environment, talk to them and identify all of the individual toxic things that they're consuming and putting in their body. They're poisoning themselves. They need to stop poisoning themselves. The good thing about Shivambu is it's the best anti-poison in the world. But if you're still poisoning yourself, then you're taking the Shivambu in, all you're doing is neutralizing the poison. What we really need to be doing is teaching people how to change their lives and how to make the right decisions and how not to poison themselves. And then, like it says in the Dhamma Tantra, you know, where you, after 12 years, you become one with everything, and you can walk on water, and you know, but in order to do that, in order for Shivambu to be able to work to that level and to that degree, we need to stop poisoning our bodies to begin with.
Very sensible reply, sir. But my second doubt is that while talking, you told the root cause of illness is the lack of spiritual enlightenment. Could you please any statistical situation in US, United States of America?
So let me just see if I understood you correctly. You're asking about the spiritual enlightenment in America?
Yes. Any statistical information?
Well, Americans are not enlightened. I mean, there's more. I mean, most of my studies have been in studying great masters in India. You know, it's so that's a long topic to talk about, and a very important one. You know, there was one thing that when I was 9 years old, I read a passage in the Bible, and it said, "The kingdom of heaven is within." And then I realized that all religions have that same saying. It doesn't matter, you know, if it's, you know, the Sikh religion, the Hindi religion, the Buddhist religion, the Christian religion, the Muslim religion, there's one message, and it's the kingdom of heaven is within. And so my seeking as a seeker of truth and knowledge for the last, you know, 40 something years has been to find someone or somebody who could explain to me how to access the kingdom of heaven within. And, you know, that led me down many paths until I stumbled upon a book called The Path of the Masters, written by Jillian Johnson, which explains the Sant Mat method of going within, and then meeting a guy named Dr. Ishwar Puri, and then getting initiated by a gentleman named Sant Thakur Singh. And then, utilizing those techniques of spirituality, of being able to go through a meditative process to access the kingdoms of heaven within. United States is really, really, really far behind the times when you compare the United States to any other country in the world. United States has the best medical trauma system in the world. For example, if you get in a car accident or you cut your finger off or something like that, they'll put you back together and save your life. United States has the worst management and care system of disease practically in the world. I think we're ranked number 52nd in the world, because the model and the system is designed to keep you sick. It's all based on money. It's money and power and the influence of the big oil and gas industry, the big agricultural industry, the big pharma industry, and all that. Now, I do have lots of hope and lots of faith in it. I think for the first time, we're actually starting to see that change a little bit, and people are starting to wake up. So I hope that we get to, the point where everybody figures out who they really are. I mean, this is just a movie here. We're just living in a movie here. This is just a short period of time before we go back up. And, we realize we chose to come down here. We're paying off our karmic, residues, and, eventually we'll go back up to where we want to be. And that's why it's important that, I think it's very important that we all work on our spiritual enlightenment and to become enlightened beings, because the energy and the vibration also is very important. And that's what I love about Shivambu, is because Shivambu is the most powerful, electrifying, beautiful, spiritual, golden liquid that you can consume. It is very, in my opinion, it's not only something that should be consumed for health benefits and detoxification and regeneration, but it's also very, very, very powerful for spiritual enlightenment.
Mr. Edward, I have one question for you. Yes, Kapil here.